Prepared here has some of the best direct response copywriting and funnels in the entire DTC e-commerce space. So in today's video, I'm going to break down some of the pages and the landers they send traffic to, and we're going to see how they leverage direct response principles so well to sell their product. So their main SKU is this fire blanket, which is a safety tool to extinguish small fires. And this is the perfect example of a product that you could sell in a million different ways, with a million different selling angles or different customer avatars or segments of the market. Just think, for example, of businesses, for example, restaurants, which could easily experience small fires like these. Things, for example, the need of parents to protect their children from potential house fires, landlords, property owners, things like that. You could use a million different selling angles to sell this product. At the moment, they're sending all of their traffic from Meta, at least, to this specific landing page here. This is a quick, short, and snappy sales page to the usual kind of standard I see in sales pages, and actually the sales page we built at my agency for 7 and 8 figure brands. This is kind of a very short sales page, as you can see by scrolling, so we're going to go over through this, but they're using like the default, the kind of main fundamentals of direct response principles to sell this product. So we're going to look first, starting from the above the fold. The first thing they mention here is they call out the problem at the top, so fires obviously, and the solution is what they want to sell you is to safely eliminate fires fast. Toss it over the fire, it's that easy, so they want to sell you on the easiness and the ease of use of their new mechanism. And the headline mentions rapidly extinguish small fires, no mess, introducing our easy to use fire blanket. So what they are hinting out here is no mess. They're hinting at the normal kind of standard fire extinguishers, and they're mentioning introducing our easy to use fire blanket. So what they're trying to attack here, the angle they're trying to attack, is the mess that standard fire extinguishers cause and all of the toxic materials that's in there when you use them, especially in a setting like a house where it's small and it's contained. You create a lot of mess by using standard fire extinguishers. So the mechanism they're introducing here is a fire blanket that's easy to use and that rapidly extinguishes small fires. So the USPs they're mentioning here, and these are super important. So in a standard above the fold on a sales page, what you're mentioning is a headline with your new mechanism or the offer, depending on the niche, the sophistication of the market. Here they're introducing the new mechanism in the headline. USPs, call to action mentioning the offer, a single handpicked review, which we're going to go through here, and then a good visual with the product in hand. And in this case, we're going to go also and mention a few of the things they're doing in this visual to make it extremely good for the above the fold. So the USPs mention lightweight and versatile, effectively suppresses liquid or grease fires and works on different types of fires, also functions as a thermal or heat shield. So they're mentioning all of the possible like different types of fires you could experience, like grease fires, electricity fires, all of stuff like that, different types of fires that have also different types of heats, and like some of them are like extreme heat, some of them are lower levels of heat. So this one can handle multiple different types of fires, as they're mentioning here. It's lightweight, it's versatile. So here they're introducing the angle that every single person can use this. You don't need to be an adult or someone experienced it to use, for example, a standard fire extinguisher, which is heavy and there's some setup to do to actually be able to use it. It's lightweight and versatile in this case. Essential kitchen and outdoor gear, a must have for your kitchen, backyard, and vehicle survivor kit, providing reliable protection. Here they're selling you on the angle that they're introducing the fact, they're hinting at the fact that you need to buy multiple of these and have them ready in different settings. So kitchen, backyard, vehicle, all places where you could experience a fire, for example. And here we're going to see why they're doing this, because their offer is heavily reliant on bundles, obviously, and people buying big quantity of the product. So they're hinting at that, especially with mentioning different settings you could use this in. No mess solution made from 100% quality flame retardant material, composed of 2 layers of woven fiberglass fabric and an inner layer of fire retardant film. So here they're introducing the mechanism and how it's how it compares to standard fire extinguishers that cause mess. Here we're mentioning no mess solution, and high temperature resistant, isolates high temperatures up to 1076 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 580 Celsius, ensuring safety in critical situations. And we have the call to action. They're mentioning the offer immediately. So the offer they're running currently is get up to 56% off emergency fire blanket now. Obviously this is a sales page, so they want to go directly to the point where you're ready to buy and you want to buy the product in this type of page. So mentioning the offer and the call to action directly will help, obviously, with that. They have a handpicked review here of someone owning a restaurant. So this is what I mentioned by multiple different selling angles. You could sell this to a million different customer avatars. This one, for example, is the restaurant owner avatar, and he mentions, I had to use this when my deep fryer lit up, took 2 seconds to put out and saved my kitchen and building. Unfortunately, the deep fryer fried itself. I gave one of these to the kids and have one at the house now. Also great product. So besides mentioning the restaurant setting we've mentioned, and obviously things like these where you experience fires in a kitchen setting are common. It's one of the places where it's super common to experience fires. And also saved my kitchen and building. The reason that that is important is when you own a restaurant, like the tools and the appliances you have in the kitchen are obviously super expensive and are some of the most expensive things you need to consider when running a restaurant. So if you save your kitchen, you're not just saving the thing that's on fire, you're just saving your whole entire business. So that's super important to mention there, and it's important that they're mentioning this here in the review. And he also mentions at the end, gave one of these to the kids, and here what they're trying to introduce and hint at is they're mentioning here lightweight and versatile, and here they go to the point of saying that even kids, if you train them and show them how this can be used, then they can use this instead of a standard fire extinguisher, which is bulky, heavy, and not suitable for that. They immediately connect that angle after. So the section immediately after that mentions it's so simple, even children and elderly can use it. So instead of like the standard fire extinguishers, which they're showing here in the comparison, they're mentioning easy pull system. Just pull it out to release the emergency fire blanket from its case. So super easy to use, no like complicated setup needed. Stops fire fast, toss it over the fire and watch it quickly suffocate. So they're showing the effectiveness here with like a big fire or a fire that you could experience in a house settings. In a house setting, and then mentioning no messy cleanup, showing all of the mess that a standard fire extinguisher causes, all of the toxic materials and stuff that's in there. Heavy toxic mess is a thing of the past. Save your kitchen and your time. So also they're super important to show the ease of use of this, since it's kind of a different approach that what you would usually expect from a standard fire extinguisher. Here they're introducing the next section, why do firefighters love them? So obviously one of the like main types of people or the customer that would kind of help you trust this more are obviously firefighters. If something like this is approved by a firefighter, then it adds a lot, it adds a big layer of trust and authority to their product. And here they're mentioning, in fact, 48% of all home fires start in the kitchen. So they're using this figure right here, 48%, and home fires and kitchen, to mention that you could experience this too. So you're not immune from experiencing home fires in your kitchen. So you need to pay attention to this. You need to consider this as a good option to save your house in case something happens. And here in the copy they're mentioning most start from simple oil-based cooking. So it's like something that everyone all around the world, like every household does on a daily basis, cook with oil in the kitchen. A few tablespoons of oil at the wrong temperature and disaster can happen in the blink of an eye. There are more common people than people think, yet it can happen to anyone. So again, mentioning what I've said about that, about the figure, mentioning home fires and kitchen. Keeping the prepared hero fire blanket in your kitchen is one of the most important decisions you can make for you and your family. So again, the emotional angle of you saving your family and protecting your family from anything possibly happening to them, especially if you have children. Just pull the straps to release the fire blanket, cover it over the fire, and it's quickly suffocated before getting out of control. So again, saving your family here. So incredibly simple to use, and for good reason. Even children or elderly can handle it. No more heavy, messy, and complicated fire extinguishers. Again, what we were mentioning above in the other sections. Keeping at least one in the house per person is vital. Again, mentioning and hinting at the bundle angle. So they need to have more than just one of these in the house to possibly for different settings or for different people to use them. It's a one-time purchase that can save lives and thousands in damages. And here they're setting up the price anchoring to how much you would lose by to a house fire. If it actually happened, you could lose thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of dollars to possibly even your entire house if it goes completely out of control. Call to action near that. 1,500,000 customers prefer prepared hero. Good social proof there and good authority to add. Has over 1.5 million happy customers with an average review of 4.8 out of 5 stars. So they're adding social proof there. Many fire departments and firefighters approve of fire prepared hero fire blanket. So as I've mentioned, like the kind of avatar you would expect to approve and give authority and trust to something like this is obviously firefighters and fire departments. Here they're adding some reviews in line. Literally within a month of purchasing this blanket, another fire occurred when my sister was cooking. Luckily I was there and reacted quickly enough to put out the fire in time with the blanket. So here they're going for, as kind of the brand name mentions, the hero angle in this case. So this person saved their sister while she was cooking, which is something that happens normally and happens on a daily basis in a lot of different households. Peace of mind in the kitchen after 2 fires in 30 years. Wish these would have been available years ago. Would have saved me thousands of dollars on remodeling. Bought one for my son's family too. Again, family angle, saving angle, like price anchoring the price of the product, which you still don't know but compared to thousands of dollars or even possibly losing your house, it won't be a lot. Like you can't put a price on saving your house, saving thousands and tens of thousands of dollars of appliances and stuff in your house. Like even if this costed more than $100 per piece, you would still be like open to the idea of buying it, because like of comparing it to like the disaster and the amount of money you would lose on losing all of that stuff. And then here again, another call to action mentioning the offer. More social proof, more handpicked social proof. We're not going to go through all of this, but you can imagine they're mentioning the same angle, the same kind of angles and the same settings. They're talking obviously to the same customer avatar, the same type of person. 30-day money back guarantee offered with no questions asked. A very good section to have in any sales page you have about your product. Then an FAQ section at the end, obviously answering some of the common questions that people might have. Always a good section to have on probably any single page you have running traffic to, on your product pages, sales pages, things like that. FAQs obviously always help a lot, and you understand the questions that customers have by talking to them, conducting surveys, looking at your reviews and conducting research, which is why it's part of our integral process when running CRO and building landers for our brand at the agency. But let's now look at like where, so we've gone through the sales page, we are convinced we want to buy this. Let's see where the call to action brings us. The call to action goes directly to checkout. It's important to know that this brand runs on Shopify. So in this case, the checkout is different because they're using Checkout Champ to customize their checkout first, and then second, add another layer of direct response and more direct response items to their checkout to make sure people are completely convinced and actually make them convinced that they need this and they need to purchase this, they need to help out their family and save their family in case something happens. So the section immediately at the top mentions again some of the points we've seen on the sales page. So social proof, anyone in the family can now safely and effectively stop fire in seconds. So the anyone can use this angle, again handling the objection of ease of use, easy pull system, suffocate fire, no confusion. Just as we've mentioned, they have more product images in there. The first step, so they have a fear of missing out banner here with limited stock and a timer. The pick your bundle deal is what we've mentioned and what they've hinted at all throughout the sales page. So they're reinforcing this through price anchoring and the shipping price. So on just one, you get the worst pricing out of them all, 30% per piece, $30 per piece, and $5 shipping fees. On two, you start getting the kind of offers that you would expect from a bundle, so 33% off, just $19.99 each, and still you have to pay the shipping fee though. But still, the price anchoring is like works extremely well in this situation. Just the difference from 1 to 2 is pretty massive. Then they have their most popular bundle, which is the four blankets, 50% off. So now the discount starts getting serious, it starts getting very, very valuable. $14.99 per piece, again price anchoring again in effect, and then plus free shipping on the 4-pack. I probably would make this even bigger. It's a very good benefit, obviously, having free shipping on something. So I would probably make this even bigger than it is right now to make it more noticeable. And they have 8, 12, and even bigger bundles here. And the offer doesn't stack up anymore after the 8-pack. So it stops at 56% off and then $12.99 per piece, and you still get free shipping. So the lowest price you could get is $12.99, which compared to the 2 top bundles, it's a lot lower. It's $7 lower per piece. So it's very valuable to get. Then they have a cross-sell here, so they want you to add a hook to your order. Basically, hooks just helps you with the fact that since the product works by pulling, so if you append this to a hook and you need to use it, you just keep it on the hook, you pull it from down, and you have the blanket ready to go instead of pulling the blanket out, pulling the straps, and then having to waste time doing this process. You can save time by adding this as a cross-sell to your order, and you can add as many as you want. Good cross-sell here, as I've mentioned a lot of times, upsells and cross-sells work when the product you're cross-selling or upselling actually helps and is actually valuable to the situation you're in. In this case, it's a good upsell and cross-sell to have. And then all of the other pieces of the checkout are kind of fairly standard. They have their guarantee, again, all of the payment pages, more social proof, and the FAQs we've seen on the sales page. The last thing I want to briefly go through here is this is the product page on their main store. So they're not directly sending any traffic from Meta to this page specifically right now, but there's a few sections of this page I want to mention which would be super important. Like I think they could have them on some type of other educational pages or even the sales page they're sending traffic to now. So this 3 simple step how to use section, I think, is super powerful. Like showing visually the difference between the blanket and how like all of the time you waste by using an extinguisher is very powerful as a visual. Here the headline, they're trying to be clever and mentioning become a prepared hero and keep your family safe, which is the angle they've used all throughout the sales page to be the hero of the family and save your family from dire situations. This section is super good, and I think they should have this on their sales page. So they're mentioning what makes our fire blanket faster, smarter, and safer. They're comparing all of the available options that you would have and then comparing it directly with the fire blanket. So this helps a lot with just understanding and realizing the potential this has. So fire extinguishers are complex and toxic. Waiting for fire department to come is obviously slow and risky. Water is messy and risky, and it can even make some types of fires even bigger. All of the other types of traditional household methods are messy and ineffective. And then using pan lids or what you would like extensionally do in a situation like this is just partial coverage, and it doesn't put out the fire completely. And then they're comparing this with the fire blanket and the ease of use and just how it completely tops out all of the other possible methods you could have, and it just puts the fire out completely with the new mechanism they've introduced. More social proof here, more benefits here in a kind of a listicle format. You could transform like these 6 points right here in its own listicle, and it could be also a good funnel to send traffic to. But then this section, I've seen it completely. I've liked this section out as soon as I've seen it. Is mentioning here how many fire blankets should you have. So here they have a breakdown of a kind of a standard house. So you have a garage, a kitchen, a workshop, a living room, a grill area maybe, or you can change out the rooms here to a different breakdown, but just so you get the idea. They're mentioning make sure to get at least one emergency fire blanket for every room. That way, if a fire does break out, you can easily grab the nearest one without wasting precious seconds. We also recommend grabbing a few others for your glitter car offers. And this again plays into the angle of the bundle, kind of bundle pricing and offer they have. Here they're mentioning we offer bundle discounts. So in this case, they're at least mentioning like having 5. And these 5 are kind of standard rooms you would have in a standard house, and mentioning garage, living room, kids room, again important kids angle, grill area, and workshop. So I think this section is perfect to just give the idea of and like preset the mindset and the expectations for how many of these you need to buy. So when you reach checkout, you know, and you can kind of calculate and have an idea in your mind of how many of these fire blankets you need to buy. But this super good section to pre-introduce and pre-warm the traffic to the idea of buying more than one. That was it for today's video. If you want to increase your conversion rate, AOV, and overall profitability, then you can sign up to my email list in the second link in the description. And in the first email immediately after signing up, you receive my 60-page PDF on how you can implement step by step, A to Z, a full split testing strategy for your e-commerce brand. If you're doing over 60 to 70K in revenue per month with your brand, then in the first link in the description, you can book a free 30-minute discovery call with me. And on the call, I'll show you how we can implement our strategy that has helped dozens of 7 and 8 figure brands add multiple 7 figures in revenue and increase all of their metrics. Then you can do that in the first link in the description. Again, book a discovery call if you're over 60 to 70K in monthly revenue, and see you in the next video.